So a certain someone decided that there should be reparations for COVID-19 for minority groups. And I'm pretty sure you can guess who it was. But let's talk about it. Stay tuned. What's going on, folks? It's your boy, Javier Javier with the Javier Javier Show. Make sure you say it twice. Man, let's get into it. Man, so a lot of y'all may not know it, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what it is that exactly this video is about. So check out what your girl AOC said. Where do I even begin to start? So I'm going to basically say it like this. There are certain people out there, certain people who are politicians and certain people who follow certain political parties who think that reparations is something that you can just flaunt, something that you can just throw around depending on whatever it is that you want to virtue signal about. So with this being said, it's basically AOC trying to make COVID-19 or the coronavirus a political move on getting reparations for minorities. She's basically saying that minority groups are more affected by the COVID-19, therefore there should be a certain amount of reparations paid out. Now I want to use this video as a way of, addressing reparations for a second. And the reason that I decided to use this for reparations is because we talked about reparations before. So if you didn't see that episode, then I'll put that in the description and you can click on it above. But let's get into it. So reparations is usually something that is brought up to Congress or to the House, basically saying that minority groups have been wronged in this country and therefore it should be granted that they get reparations. A lot of people bring up the issue that there are people who deserve reparations because their ancestors were wronged in a certain way. Now, there are people who will say that, well, the Japanese got reparations, or the Jews got reparations, or the Native Americans got reparations. How come black people didn't get reparations for slavery? So there's the argument that has been presented plenty of times. There's even been debates on it at Congress about whether or not black people should get reparations. So you have to ask yourself, if you are for reparations or you're against reparations, this is not me trying to say that you shouldn't be for it or you should be against it. Me personally, and I'm only speaking for myself, I don't think reparations is a good idea. I don't think reparations will help the situation. I really don't think that there's even a way to quantify who should get what and who deserves more than the next person. Should everybody get the same? What if everybody didn't suffer the same? These are some of the questions that I ask myself when the conversation of reparations are brought up. So with that being said, I personally don't think reparations should even be a part of the conversation. Now, I know a lot of people out there who think that reparations are something that should be on the table, something that should be discussed, something that we should be reviewing to see if it's even doable in society today. You have to ask, who do we take the money from? Who do we give the money to? And why do we give them the money that we give them? Who gets a certain amount and who doesn't get a certain amount? These are a lot of questions that a lot of people ask. So I'm being humble about the situation because I understand that there are a large group of people out there who thinks that there should be reparations. There are a certain group of people out there who think that there shouldn't be reparations. And there's a debate on both sides. And I would like to know what side of the fence that you sit on, or what side of the fence should I sit on, or what do you think that I should do as far as thinking about reparations? Because we talk about reparations a lot, especially in the black community. And I've had this discussion with a lot of people, and it's been something that's been around for a long time, and a discussion that should be had. And I personally don't think it's a good idea, but with that being said, there are arguments on the other side that people who were wronged in a certain way, they were never able to get the head start or get the start that they deserve. And therefore, it's the government's or society's job to make amends for that by a cash payment, or that's another thing. Reparations could mean so many different things, and usually we think of it in terms of cash payment. We should get this certain amount of cash, or this certain amount of land, certain amount of resources. Reparations can come in a lot of ways. I even recommended at one point, if there was a form of reparations, which form would I prefer? And I was thinking more of a tax-free reparations for those people who have been directly affected by certain incidents in history, because we can go into all the ways people were wrong throughout history. We don't even know truly how history affects us individually. From what I understand from the literature, we don't really know whether or not slavery turned out worse for others and better for other people. We don't know who's still holding on and who's still benefiting from the history of slavery. So I said that a tax-free system where if you were affected by slavery, or if you are a direct descendant from something that happened that was imposed by the government, that therefore you should receive a certain amount of years tax-free. To me, that's the simplest way to do it. That's without taking money from other people and forcing it to other people. Then you have to ask, okay, well, how do you go about doing this? And I was thinking maybe just like an EBT card or something like that. You get a card where you put your money into that account, and if you use that card in the store, it doesn't charge you sales tax. If you have a job and you don't get taxed, I don't know whether it would be federally or on the state level, whether you don't get taxed on your checks if you qualify for that tax exemption, or you write it off on your taxes at the end of the year. I mean, there are different ways that you could go about doing this. Me personally, I don't really think that that would be something that I would root for, but at the same time, if we sat down today and we decided, okay, reparations are going to be done, what should we do about it? That was something that I would put on the table. Now, with that being said, let's get back to AOC. And I know AOC don't speak for the left. I know she don't speak for everybody that's a Democrat. I know she don't speak for all liberals. But there are a large group of people out there who support AOC. And AOC says things like this all the time. So I had to ask myself what it is that AOC is trying to say. And a lot of us, we're saying that we should pull together. Let's put politics aside. Let's get through COVID-19. Let's get through this virus. And we can pick up politics later on down the road. Right now is the time to come together. I don't really think it's a smart idea to be pushing political policies right now, or trying to use this incident to crack down on certain issues in the country, to take advantage of people's vulnerability right now while we're in this situation. And I think AOC is falling victim to that same mindset, where she's using this as an opportunity to push certain things that she probably would be for if we wasn't having a virus right now that's swooping through the country. So I put that out to say this. I don't think that AOC should be pushing this kind of agenda at this moment. And it's not really clear what it is that she means that is mostly affecting the people of color, because for the simple fact, the virus doesn't discriminate. The virus is not choosing, okay, let me go after these people more, let's go after these people more. I understand that there are situations where people are more likely to be susceptible to the virus and end up getting it. So there's that. With that being said, what's your thoughts on it? Do you think that AOC should leave that stuff alone right now? Should she just stay away from it? And as a signal to the left in general and to the right, let's put politics to the side. Let's get this COVID-19 thing settled. We can pick up on all these things later on down the road. Or do you think that, yes, this is a good time to be pushing these political issues? This is a great time to be, pushing what it is that we want to see done in this country and get it done. Might be a reason why you think that we wouldn't be going through this right now if certain issues were pushed before this even happened. No matter where you fall on the spectrum, write in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button now. Join the Hobby Lobby. Join the conversation. Let's get it popping. You came, you heard, you saw. Now run. Tell them I said it. And if they ask me by name, make sure you say it twice. This is the Javier Javier Show.